You know that feeling when someone corners you at a party and asks, "So, what do you do?" And suddenly you'd rather fake a phone call, pretend you're sick, or just vanish into thin air. Yeah, that's not social anxiety. That's not being introverted. That's something way deeper. See, most people think hating small talk makes you weird, awkward, or antisocial. But the truth? It reveals something about your brain that most people will never understand. And trust me, these 7 truths are going to hit different. Let's get into it. Truth 1. Your brain treats small talk like physical pain. When you're stuck in meaningless conversation, your brain literally processes it the same way it processes pain. Neuroscientists discovered that people with high cognitive needs, basically people whose brains crave substance, show activity in the anterior cingulate cortex during small talk. That's the same region that lights up when you stub your toe or burn your hand. So when someone says, "How about this weather?" your brain doesn't hear small talk. It hears an alarm. It's screaming, "Get out. This is hurting us." And here's the kicker. While you're suffering through, "How was your weekend?" other people's brains are getting dopamine hits. They're literally enjoying it. But your brain is starving, desperately searching for meaning that never comes. You're not being dramatic. Your nervous system is genuinely rejecting the interaction. Truth 2. You can spot fake people in 30 seconds. And this one's wild. You've developed a superpower most people don't have. You can detect inauthenticity faster than a lie detector. While everyone else is nodding along to surface-level chit-chat, your brain is running a background scan. Are they being real right now? Or is this performance? Psychologists call this authenticity radar. And here's why you have it. Because you've been burned before. You've invested in people who seemed cool during small talk, only to realize later there was nothing underneath. Just scripts, just masks, just emptiness. So now, your brain doesn't waste time anymore. Someone starts with the weather, asks about your commute, gives you the corporate smile, and boom. You've already categorized them. Shallow. Next. This isn't being judgmental. This is pattern recognition. Your brain learned to protect your energy by filtering out people who'll never go deep. Truth 3. You're not antisocial, you're anti-waste. People think you hate humans. Wrong. You hate wasting time pretending to care about things that don't matter. There's a study that shows people who avoid small talk actually value human connection more than people who love it. Read that again. You care more, not less. But here's the difference. You measure connection by depth, not frequency. You'd rather have one conversation that changes your perspective than 50 conversations about nothing. You'd rather sit in silence with someone real than perform enthusiasm for someone fake. Other people collect interactions like Pokemon cards. You're looking for the rare ones, the ones that actually mean something. So when you ghost the group chat or dodge the office small talk, you're not being rude. You're being selective. You're refusing to dilute your energy on people who will forget you in 5 minutes. And honestly, that's not cold. That's self-respect. Truth 4. Silence doesn't scare you, and that terrifies others. Your comfort with silence makes other people deeply uncomfortable, and they'll punish you for it. Most humans panic when conversation dies. They scramble. They ask random questions. They laugh at nothing. Anything to fill the void. But you're fine. Actually, you're more than fine, you're relieved. Because silence is honest. Silence doesn't lie. Silence doesn't pretend. Psychologists found that people who hate small talk have lower social anxiety around silence. Translation: you don't need to perform to prove you're good enough. But here's the brutal part. This freaks people out. When you don't rush to fill the quiet, they assume you're judging them, hating them, or worse, that you think you're better than them. So they label you stuck up, weird, cold, arrogant. But the truth? You're just secure enough to exist without a script. And that's rare. Most people need constant validation through words. You don't, and that power intimidates them. Truth 5. Small talk is a trap, and you saw through it. 5th brutal truth, and this one stings. You realize something most people never will. Small talk isn't connection. It's a cage. Think about it. Someone asks, "How are you?" You say, "Good, thanks." Even if you're falling apart inside. Someone asks about your weekend. You give the safe answer. Always. We've been trained since childhood. Be polite. Don't be too much. Follow the script. And sure, it keeps things smooth, but it also keeps you locked on the surface forever. For you, every fake "how are you" feels like a tiny betrayal of who you actually are. Psychologists call this existential inauthenticity, living in a way that contradicts your core self. And here's the trap. The more small talk you do, the more you become a stranger to yourself. You start believing your own script. You forget what you actually think, feel, want. So you stopped. Not because you hate people, because you refuse to disappear behind pleasantries. You chose authenticity over approval. And yeah, that's lonely, but it's real. Truth 6. You have fewer friends, and you're happier for it. Sixth brutal truth. Your friend count is low, and you're not sorry about it. Research shows people who hate small talk have 60% fewer friends than people who love it. But, and this is huge, their life satisfaction scores are higher. Why? Because you're not counting acquaintances as friends. You're not calling someone who knows your job title but not your fears a close friend. You've set a standard. You'd rather have 2 people who've seen you cry than 20 people who've seen you smile. You'd rather have 1 friend who knows your demons than a dozen who know your weekend plans. And when other people brag about their huge friend group, you don't feel jealous. You feel sorry for them because you know most of those connections are shallow. 1 crisis away from disappearing. Your friendships might be rare, but they're unbreakable, and that's worth more than 1,000 surface-level bonds. Truth 7. You're not broken. You're just done pretending. You're not damaged. You're not antisocial. You're not missing some social gene. You're just done. Done pretending the weather matters. Done laughing at jokes that aren't funny. Done nodding along to conversations that go nowhere. Done performing. And here's what nobody tells you. That's not a flaw. That's evolution. While everyone else is stuck in autopilot mode, following scripts they learned in kindergarten, you've woken up. You've seen through the game. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Sure, it makes life harder. It makes you lonelier. It makes people think you're weird. But it also makes you free. Free to say what you actually mean. Free to connect on your terms. Free to walk away from anything that doesn't feed your soul. So if you hate small talk, stop apologizing. Stop forcing yourself to fit in. Stop pretending you're broken. You're not broken. You're just built different. And the world needs more people like you. People who refuse to settle for shallow. Who demand something real. Who'd rather be alone than fake. The real question is, which truth hit you the hardest? And are you ready to own it? If this made you see yourself differently, hit that subscribe button, because we're covering the psychology that actually explains who you are. No sugarcoating, no BS, just truth.